I will be giving my updated 2026 Senate elections predictions. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started with all the states that I think are going to be safe for both parties, and honestly, the opposite party has near zero chance of winning. Oh, sorry, gotta put in a charger. Alright, so safe states are gonna be Louisiana, Arkansas, Oregon, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia. Go look at a few of these states. Yeah. South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Alaska, and Illinois. Illinois will probably not be safe. So here's all my safe states, and for Oregon, yeah, Oregon's gonna be safe. I'll go ahead and do safe Democratic states. What's Utah? Arizona, New Mexico. New Mexico's probably gonna move in. Or sorry, New Mexico. Yeah, Colorado's probably gonna be safe. New Mexico, I would not be surprised is safe. New Jersey, Ohio will be safe. Illinois will be safe. All these northern, like New England area states will definitely be safe. Virginia will be safe. Minnesota will not be safe, most likely. It's probably going to be actually pretty competitive. Then, let's look at the 2024 Senate races. Honestly, Florida's probably going to be safe. And 2020. Okay. So Texas really comes down to if the incumbent senator, who is currently having a primary challenge in Texas, Republican, from a more Trumpianism candidate. So Texas really does come down on if it's safe or not, if it's the incumbent or not. I do think no matter what, Texas will go to the Republican, but probably by a very small margin. Or, sorry, not by small, but by a smaller margin. Probably by around 9%, maybe Ted Cruz numbers. Maybe he'll only win it by around like 2 to 3% if Paxton ends up winning the primaries for the Republicans. But I do think if the incumbent senator currently wins it, Texas will go to him by around probably a safe margin. But right now it looks like Paxton, the attorney general, is going to beat the incumbent senator in the primaries, which I do think will lead to maybe him only winning by around 8%. Maine is probably going to be a likely. Collins continues to win Maine pretty easily, although she is recently kind of delved into one of the more unpopular senators. And I could see her only winning it by around like 4 to 5% if Democrats get a good candidate. But it doesn't really look like if there's a good candidate right now. So I do think Republicans will keep Maine. And then Iowa, it's probably going to be a likely Republicans won it in 2020, still by 6%. I would say 2020 has had about the same level of backlash as 2026 is expected to be against the Republicans in terms of like the Senate races. And right now, the 2026 generic congressional polls, use opinion polling for who people think they're going to vote for in the midterms. Right now, Democrats are leading, but not by that large of a margin, only around 2.4%. So Democrats probably won't be able to have a strong candidate in Iowa. Minnesota will probably be probably going Democrats by around 6 to 7%. In 2020, they won it by around 5%. And in 2024, they won it by 16%. So it'll probably be in between there by around 6%, somewhere between there. And as we see, even just going through the likelies, like which states will probably fall each way, Republicans already have a majority, a 52-seat majority. Plus, they have J.D. Vance as the vice president, so it's really sort of a 53-seat majority, which really does help the Senate, which really will help the Republicans. We move over to Georgia, which if Brian Kemp decided to run, Republicans would have Georgia. But Republicans cannot get a strong candidate for Georgia right now. There's not really any strong candidate, and John Ossoff, even though he's slightly unpopular, he's still a young Democrat or a younger politician, which does excite the base, and I do think it will get huge turnout. And it's not like John Ossoff is super unpopular. He's just a senator. That's why he's unpopular. And if Republicans somehow convince Brian Kemp to run, they will win Georgia. But without Brian Kemp, I do think John Ossoff will win Georgia, probably by around 2 to 3%, somewhere around there. North Carolina, with Till's retirement, and with, it seems like the nominee for Republicans is going to be Trump's daughter, I believe, or Trump's granddaughter, someone in Trump's family. It's either his daughter or his niece. I'm pretty sure it's one of his daughters. But I do think because she's related to Trump, that almost sort of hurts her. Trump might put more campaign funding towards North Carolina, but I do expect the Democrats to take North Carolina as of right now. Now, Michigan could really go any way. Pete Buttigieg and Gretchen Whitmer both declined to run for Senate in Michigan, which honestly I think it's a pretty bad idea for the Democrats. They should have convinced Pete Buttigieg to run for the Senate. That would have been amazing. Or they could have convinced Pete Buttigieg to run for the governorship and get Gretchen Whitmer run for the Senate, and then they have control of a Senate seat and a governor seat in Michigan. But with no strong Democratic candidate, I'm not too sure if the Democrats can win it. I definitely do think it's close. I think more likely Democrats will probably hold on to Michigan, but they'll lose North Carolina by a very slim margin, just because I do believe that the Republicans right now have more campaign funding than the DNC, and the DNC is probably going to be more worried about Michigan and Georgia and holding on to these two seats than trying to get the North Carolina seat, which still has the Republicans with a 4-seat majority anyway. And I think they'll look towards North Carolina, what would that, for in 2032, maybe. And with it being one of Trump's family members running for the North Carolina Republican seat, we could see Trump possibly pull some strings and get more campaign funding to North Carolina. Anyway, here's my updated Senate map. I have 47 of 53 Republicans having the majority, plus J.D. Vance helping them if there's a tie. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and peace out.